5 minutes with you, please. My little talk is about not mixing things up. A sign of maturity that the person does not mix things up. He or she can draw the line between this aspect and this aspect without mixing them. I will take a verse from Isaiah chapter 5, which talks about the necessity of not mixing things up. He said, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Woe to those. Woe to those means they are really destroying themselves because they are mixing things up. The evil with good, the good with evil, the darkness with light. So one has to be able to draw the line in order to proceed in a moderate way in life without being extreme. Give you examples in the Holy Bible. The first thing that an individual should hate sin, but do not hate the sinner. There is a fine line between the two. Everybody is supposed to hate sin, but not to hate the sinner. In fact, you're supposed to help the sinner. And this is why the Lord Christ was criticized when he visited the house of Zacchaeus. And he said to him, "Zacchaeus, you come down, because today I'm going to be in your house." People criticized him for going to the house of Zacchaeus, who is known to be a tax collector, and in their judgment, he is a sinner. But there is a fine line between the sin and the sinner. We hate sin, but we don't hate the sinner. And when the Lord Christ entered his house, he said, "Salvation has come to this family." And he blessed Zacchaeus and blessed his family and his life. Right? Very important that we put the line difference between various aspects. Also, there is a difference between the wrong idea and the respect of the person. Under all circumstances, we're supposed to respect the person in front of us. To insult the person in front of us is very disrespectful and very sinful. But there is a very important line between don't liking the idea of the person and losing respect for the person. People can differ in their opinion. That is fine. But they should not lose respect to one another. In the house of Simon the Pharisee, the Lord Christ visited his house. And when he visited his house, of course, he disagreed with the ideas of the Pharisee, and his rigidity, as the Pharisees were very rigid. That is one aspect. But the other aspect, that he respected him. He respected the Pharisee when he went to his house. When he wanted to speak to him about something related to the lady who is known in the city to be a sinner, he said to him, "I have a word to say to you." See how respectable? He disagreed with his ideas. Totally. The Pharisees were very rigid and he disagreed with him. But he respected him. There is a fine line we have to draw. We can improve our life when we learn how to draw the line, to the extent that he said to the Pharisee, "I have a word to say to you. عندي كلمة أقولها لك." عايز أكلمك على حاجة في منتهى الأدب، لكن مختلفين في الرأي، لكن في منتهى الأدب. Another important point, you would like to defeat the disease, but you don't like to defeat the sick person. Yes, you would like to overcome diseases and you would like to overcome difficulties, but you don't like to defeat the person and make him or her more sick. That's two different aspects. One has to be able to draw the line, because Isaiah, the prophet, said, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, but put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Don't mix things up. This is why the Lord Christ for sure did not like the actions of Saul, who became later on Saint Paul. He did not like his actions. He had letters to kill the Christians. How good is that? It's very bad to kill the Christians. He did not approve his sickness. That's a sickness. The hatred is a sickness. Hatred is a sickness. So definitely Jesus did not like the hatred in the heart of Saul. Guess what? He did not punish Saul. He did not destroy him, but rather he helped him to heal from his hatred sickness. And he appeared to him and he said, Saul, Saul, how long are you going to persecute me? What have I done wrong for you to persecute me? This is very important. It solves many of our problems when we differentiate between things. You don't like to kill the person, but you would like to kill the sickness that the person, and so many of us are carrying many sicknesses and many diseases and suffering from many things. You would like to kill the disease, but not the person. May the Lord help us to abide with that level. That's a long, actually long talk that can take lots of discussions and applications for many people about not to mix things up. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness. Don't mix things up. Who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. May the Lord help us to have the strength not to mix things up and to be able to differentiate easily between things for our comfort and to abide with the Word of God and for the comfort of other people as well. Glory be to God forever and ever. Amen. Thank you so much for your attention. Greatly appreciated. And